athletics trials for the World Relays and the starting from the long jump, pole vault, 200 meters where the first men and women final, 800 meters, and we have the final also for the fight having today. Remember, we had the 10,000 meters final happening yesterday, both of them, and we had new champions being crowned. And then we women, then the mixed relay 4x4. The 3,000 meter steeplechase, and then we shall be for the men, and then we shall be having the 4x4 for women and men. From there, we shall be having the naming of Team Kenya. Remember, Team Kenya is expected to camp in on 14th to 20th. Team Kenya is expected to camp in on 14th to 20th. Will be selected. The ones who are participating here are the ones who have already qualified. 1 to 3 out of competition tests in the past 6 months, depending on the athletics and athlete relations in category A. From there, in the relays, we shall go by 100 meters men and women, and the mixed where male athletes, a total of 9 athletes will be selected. Across the finish line in the 100 meters men will be automatically selected. The fastest 2 athletes in the 200 selected. The remaining 2 athletes will be of selectors at the end of the day, because the entries will be done tomorrow. And I hope the selected athletes will have carried their passports for them for the registration process. From there, we shall be having and 4x4
of the men 200 meter final. The final of the 200 meter final here, the Lindsay events. The winner there from Utawala Springs Club in a time. Dennis Mwai. I'm joined in studio with who will be our main commentator, and I, Wesonga Hilary Wegulo, will be assisting him. Remember the time seconds, 20.71, 20.81, 21.10, 20. Fast start, but this is day 3. You expect. Remember the qualifying time for the Africa Senior Championship is 21.24 seconds. And by the look of things, all the 8 finalists have made the cut. Number 8, 21.65. Number 6, 21.35. What a fast time this has been. 21.24. Number 6, 21.35. 7. 21.64 Africa Senior Championship.
A very good morning. Of course, it is day 3 of these trials. Coach to winning that 200 day, Saturday morning, quite chilly in Nairobi, and this is what we. A very good race from Dennis Mwai running in the Ronald Kipkono Koech has put 3 days running a 10.16 in the ones finishing second in the 200 meters men final in a time of. He's officially set the casing determination as discipline and elite performance. 7,179, and Edwin Toh has, of course, broken a national record. Amazing. Decathlon and improving from the 7th years ago. So improving by 9 points in the decathlon to break the national record. Affirmed his dominance in that discipline.
In the 100 meters, Ferdinand Omanyala ran yesterday and clocked a time of 10.19 seconds, winning the event. Plus 0.7. So we have two Kenyans running at Ulinzi on day one, and Ferdinand Omanyala to Koech now with a time of 10.19 seconds. The world is in Botswana will prove to be a very good outing for Team Kenya in the 4x1 as things look. Remember, the 100 meters final will be run later today, and the guys you've seen here running the 200 meters, 100 meters.
I'm talking about the 100 meters final will be up. Second in the 200 meters, Ronald Kiprono Koech will be in lane number 2. For the fastest, Moses Wasike, Mark Otieno, Meshak Ba, and Stephen Odhiambo Onyango. So this will be a very star-studded, very facility.
Last 5 to cross the line make it to the team for the men category, and in Fred Mackenzie lane number 2, Diana Aoko lane number 3, Eunice Kado will be in lane number 4, William Morris will be in lane number 6, Jen Mirigo lane number 7, and in lane first 3 to cross the line. The first 3 to cross the line. Also a lot of tension just before in 696. There's a little tension. Blocks. Let us watch the replay. Dennis Moy running in number 3. Closed in on Callistas in lane number 4. But there was good action at the front. It's a Utawala 1, 2, 3. Kiprono Koech and Sabila. Women ran yesterday in their final, where the winner was selected yesterday, followed by Lilian Aoko.
So the next event on track should and things moving on here at the Ulinzi Sports Complex. If you're joining us, this is the final day of the trials for the World Relays and the athlete in that 400 meter race, and including the 5,000 meters. On this day, and looking at what happened in the 10,000 meters, which Bernard Rotich really had a keen eye on, and I'll be throwing it to him maybe to tell us the expected promises anything going into the.
Tell our viewers that you are wearing. Are you going to Ghana for the Africa Championships? Yesterday we had a good, of course, competition where a number of athletes did so well, a number of semi-finals. And talking about the 10,000 meters, Kevin Chesang from Baringo winning the 10,000 meters. It was 200 meters to the finish line. It was a sprinting event, and Ken and Matthew Koech finishing third. Maybe we'll see if the three are going to medals there. And talking about it, it was a good thing to see the athletes, new athletes coming in. Remember the 10,000 meters, Kenya won gold through Gladys Kwamboka in the last edition, that is in the 10,000 meters. So we look forward to a good day here today, and we'll get to know who make the two teams, that is who will be heading to Botswana and who will be heading to Ghana next month.
Also, it will be interesting to know if we'll be having the relays, Songa.
Relays today, I don't see the need for the relays because you know the team is being selected from the flat. Remember the first 5 to cross the line in the 100 meters for men, automatic into the team. For women, the first 3. Then in the 400 meters where we've also made the team, the first 6 to cross the line automatically qualify for the men, and so is the women. Then the next 3 are selected by a panel of selectors in the 4x4. So the first 6 automatic. Then the next 3 that's left for the panel of selectors. In the 100, the first 5 for men. Then the winners, like as at now, Mwai and Ronald Koech have cut the team because courtesy of them winning the 200 meters, they're already in the team. So when it comes to the 100, we'll take another 5. So that makes it 7. Then 2 more slots for the selectors. Remember, Omanyala has a wild card because he ran yesterday in South Africa. So there's 1 more slot remaining. That is how it will be for the team selection. Remember, the World Relays will be held in Gaborone, Botswana. For the first time in Africa, the World Relays will be coming to Botswana and in Africa on the 2nd and 3rd of May. Just a few weeks away.
And talking about the 4x100 meters, I was reading somewhere, someone was telling me that maybe they'll need 200 meter specialists on the curve. Is this the case as it looks like?
That is the case. That is why we're selecting. The federation is selecting 2 athletes in the 200 meters to join the team in the 100 meters. Because those are curve runners. The 200 meters athletes are very good curve runners. So as it stands, Mwai takes 1 position. Ronald Koech takes the other position. But what is surprising is Dennis Mwai beating Kiprono in the 200 meters. Remember, 200 meters is Ronald Koech's speciality. That is his speciality. He's been beaten in his speciality. Let's wait and see in the 100 meters. Will he produce his 10.16 seconds that he did in the hits, or will the engine fail?
Of course, tense moments await. Can just see a couple of fans also skating. And yesterday I had the benefit of hosting an African skating champion, a Kenyan champion, at my workplace, and skating is also coming up well. and this is just fun moments here at the Ulinzi Sports Complex. If you're just about to join us, the 400 meters women final is just about underway. 6 athletes confirming their participation in this final, and just waiting for them to get into the line. And of course, this will be interesting, Hillary, because we look at the lineup. There was supposed to be 8, but I can see only 6 coming to the starting point.
I can only see 6, and remember, in this, the first 6 to cross the line make it automatically to the team. So as it is, all of them have already made the cut in the 400 meters. Remember, the 8 listed in the final are Margaret Tajeo, Helen Siombua, Maureen Wafula, Mercy Okech, Mercy Chebet, Monica Akulu, Shida Leni, and Anne Mbatha. The race favorite Mercy Okech is missing in this final. The race favorite Mercy Adongo Okech is missing in lane number 4 in this particular race. I don't know what happened, but Mercy Okech is missing, and so is Monica Akulu from Uganda.
Coach, I love the long strides from Maureen from Prisons. You saw how the last 100 meters, how she really closes the gap and managed to finish at the top 3. She really has the long strides.
Remember, she's an heptathlete specialist. So she takes part in 7 events. So when she comes down to the 400 meters, that's piece of cake to her. But her form is really coming up well this year. Let us wait and see in what position she'll finish. Remember, automatically as it stands, they have already all made the team for the wild relays. So that they'll be running the 4x400 meters and the 4x400 meters mixed in Botswana.
Talking about Mercy Okech, I think maybe she could have just attained that qualification time yesterday. I think 50.12, 0.22. I think she's well in that bracket, so maybe preserving the energy for something else, or might just have felt some fatigue. And I think it's now a chance for Beatrice, Mercy Chebet, to try and actually close that gap. And we just about to witness the 400 meters women final here at the Ulinzi Sports Complex, waiting for everything to calm down before the storm. As we always say, one lap on track. It's going to be fast and furious. Watch out for Shida Lenyi. She'll be running in lane number 7. But missing is Monica Akulu of Uganda. So Margaret Tajeu, the 26-year-old, will be running in lane number 1. You can see her on your screens. And then in lane number 2, the experienced Helen Siombua Kali. And then we'll have Maureen Nanjala Wafula. Rotich talked about her strides. And of course, Mercy Chebet from National Police Service, the lady from Kericho, born in 2002. She'll be running in lane number 5, of course. She'll be trying to catch up with Shida Lenyi, who's been very impressive over the hits into the semi-final. And the Ugandan will be running in lane number 7. And Martha Nzula, another Kenyan, in lane number 8. So that is Naserian, the experienced Helen Siombua. Maureen Nanjala with the long strides will be trying to run to victory in lane number 3. Mercy Chebet and Shida Lenyi of Uganda, very experienced, of course, and she'll be trying to see if she can use that experience to claim victory here. And we await for the start of this race right here at the Ulinzi Sports Complex. It was quite windy and chill in the morning, but as at 10:06 a.m. East Africa time, or 8 in the morning in London, we are ready for this 400 meters final as they take their positions. Remember, this is a final day, so expect fireworks in each and every final that will be competed here. So let me ask to stand up just to confirm a few things, calming the nerves a little bit as we await for the start of this race that, of course, will be aiming to see who actually makes it to their respective teams, not only Team Kenya, because we have also a Ugandan in the mix.
Selection criteria. Madam, selection criteria. Yo, print out.
So we are ready for start, because looking at the 400 meters for the women is 54.74. The standard qualification time for the Africa Athletics Championships. And off they go nicely. Mercy Chebet and Shida Lenyi coming out of the blocks very nicely, and you can see Shida Lenyi, of course, reigning supreme as she takes charge of this race. The Ugandan sprinter, trying so hard to ensure that she gets that curve right as she heads towards the last 200 meters of this race. So Shida Lenyi comes straight into that curve, picks it nicely. Mercy Chebet trying to close by. It is going to be very, very tight between the two. Mercy Chebet, is she saving the best for the last? Shida Lenyi with the long strides will be trying to actually come closer to that, but then it is Mercy Chebet showing why she is among the best 400 meters runners in this country. 51.95. She took that bend nicely, especially on the last one. And look at how well she took the stride. Shida Lenyi tried to respond, but then it wasn't gonna be. And Maureen Nanjala Wafula finished third in that race. It was Siombua, of course, Maureen finishing fourth, but then what a flip of hands by Mercy Chebet, running in her lane nicely. The long stride did not work for Shida Lenyi. I think maybe fatigue might have just crept in, but that is how well that race was executed. So Mercy Chebet, I think she should be joining her compatriot Mercy on the other side to have Team Kenya with that strong representation, both at the relays and the senior athletics championships. But straight away, they are running to the starting level, to the starting point for the 400 meters men, which will be starting shortly. And of course, Hillary will be taking you through this.
In the 400 meters men final, in lane number 1, we'll be having Kenneth Omuka all the way from Uganda. In lane number 2, Eric Kimathi from Utawala. Lane number 3, Kevin Kipkorir from Kenya Prisons. Lane number 4, George Mutinda from Eastern. Lane number 5, Dennis Masika Mulongo from the Kenya Defense Forces. In lane number 6, the tall, lanky fella, Aaron Adoli, all the way from Uganda. Lane number 7, Kevin Tonui from the Kenya Prisons. And in lane number 8, Danson Kibet. Quite a packed field here. Remember, the first 6 to cross the line automatically qualify for the world relays. With this 2 Ugandans in the starting lineup, that means all the Kenyans in the final have already made the qualifying mark. Now it remains the 3 slots that AK has to choose for the wildcards. Remember, Boniface Moresa did not run in these particular trials because of injury. I think he should be named. He might be named in this particular team. Alan Kipiego hasn't run. He might also be named in the team, having won the Betika series. And then one more slot. I don't know who the panel of selectors will include, but for the finalists here, all the Kenyan finalists have already made the cut. .400 meters men final. Remember, in the women final, the winner was Mercy Chebet, running inside the qualifying mark for the Africa Senior Championship, running in a time of 51.95 seconds. The qualifying mark is 54.24 seconds. She joins her compatriot Mercy Akech, who was missing in the final, on the plane to Accra, Ghana. This is the 400 meters men final. Just waiting for the starters and the technical team being led by Billy in the Timetronics to be ready. We also recognize the Morgan from the Timetronics and the entire Timetronics team. Thank you for the good job you're doing. This event will not have been made possible if it was not for the electronic timing system. We also wish to recognize our sponsors, Betika and Jubilee, not forgetting KCB Bank, and the entire team that is working around the clock to make this function a success, starting from the starters, track referees, track judges, fatigue team, everybody that is involved in this production. We don't take your effort for granted as we wait for the start of the 400 meters men final. Lane number 1, Kenneth Omuka from Uganda. Lane 2, Eric Kimathi. Lane 3, Kevin Kipkorir. Lane number 4, the favorite, George Mutinda. Lane number 5, Dennis Masika. Lane number 6, the lanky fella from Uganda, Harold Adoli. Lane number 7, one of the favorites also, Kevin Kiprotich Tonui. And in lane number 8, Danson Kibet. Missing in action is Alan Kipiego, who's out with an injury that he picked after the Meru Betika finals. Who will be going with this one? Remember, the first 6 to cross the line automatically qualify, and this being a final with 2 foreigners, all the Kenyans have already made the cut. Now it's a matter of who makes the team to the Africa Senior Championship in Accra, Ghana. Remember, the qualifying time is 46.50 seconds. But the country can only take 3. Clean start there from all the athletes. George Mutinda, the favorite, in lane number 4. Kevin Kipkorir in lane number 3, just closing in on George Mutinda. Also the Ugandan in lane number 1, passing Eric Kimathi from lane number 1, as Adoli in lane number 6 tries to pull away from the rest of the field. That is where George Mutinda always takes charge with 120 meters to go. Look at lane number 4, George Mutinda. Will it be too late? A little too late. The Ugandan Adoli is in the front. Harold Adoli in the front. And the Ugandan takes the win. Adoli takes the win in a time of 45.10 seconds. Just ahead of Kevin Kiprotich from Kenya Prisons. What a race. Adoli from Uganda, as you can see from your replay, just hung onto the lead, using his long strides to go through, as George Mutinda left it a little too late. In second position was Kevin Kiptonui, and in third position is that Dennis Masika. Dennis Masika from Kenya Defense Forces was third. What a race. Greg, like I always tell you, in the final, anything can happen. Just like the 200 meters, we've had a surprise also in the 400 meters. The favorite, George Mutinda, did not win this race. And the official time coming on the screen is 45.07 for the Ugandan Harold Adoli. 45.07 seconds. In second position, 45.43. Third position, 45.48. Fourth, 45.74. Then 46.06, 46.24, 46.28, and 47.73. As we watch the replay, it's quite a tight race. You can't determine number 3 and 4, with Adoli being the clear favorite as the winner. Remember, the 3 Kenyans who qualified for the Olympics ran under 45 seconds in this same field. Kevin Kipkorir came in 5th, Kibet 6th, and the Ugandan
Powerful race there by Mercy Chebet to win the 400 meters earlier on. And of course, she's been speaking to Charity Wanja on the track side. So let's listen to what she said after that famous win.
That was a nice race here. We've been joined by Dennis Moy and Ronald Koech, who are the fastest two athletes to automatically qualify for the World Athletics Relay Championships that will be held in Gaborone, Botswana. Dennis, unafilaje kuhusu performance yako ya leo?
The race was good, although the weather was a bit cold, but tulijipea moyo, and I kind of enjoyed the race. It was nice. Yeah, completing with my fellow teammates, I feel good.
Munafilaje now that the two of you, you're from the same camp and now you're here, you'll be going to represent the Kenya hand in hand?
We feel good. All the thanks goes to my coach, Perpetual. She's the one who trained us, motivated us, and we came here and did a good show. We give all the thanks to my coach.
Thank you and all the best.
Thank you, madam.
Okay, I'm also joined by Ronald. Ronald, unafilaje mara yako ya kwanza Team Kenya?
It was let me start by the name. I'm called Ronald Kiprono Koech. Performance today was good, but the weather was not good, but we have tried our best. Yeah, and I'm happy for being part of Team Kenya, so I will represent Team Kenya well. Okay.
Perhaps leo ukikimbia ni nini umeona utaenda sana urekebishe ukiwa kwa mazoezi?
Naona madam atanirekebisha sababu that is not my PP. I was not expecting to run lower my PP, but next time I will try. Yeah.
Okay. All the best and congratulations.
Thank you.
Those were our 200 meters finalists, Ronald Koech and Dennis Moy, who are the fastest two athletes in the 200 meters race. I'm also joined here by their coach, Coach Perpetual. Coach, unafilaje?
I'm feeling good. I really thank God for the opportunity. Yeah, I'm impressed by the boys. Yeah.
You also managed to go with them for the curtain raiser event in Botswana. What are some of the things you noticed and you'll be correcting during the camp?
Yeah, when I went to Botswana, most of these boys that we went to Botswana were newcomers in the team. That was their first time to be in the Team Kenya. So there are some few mistakes like the baton handling, the reactions, and the top end that I realized most boys did not have. So that's what we've been working with, and at least I can see it's working. Yeah.
All the best and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, those were our 200 meters finalists and their coach, Coach Perpetua. They're hoping that they'll be able to put in a good performance and carry the flag of Kenya in Botswana on 2nd to 3rd May. Over to you, Hilary and Mulemi, as we continue with the program.
Thank you, Charity. And now our attention shifts to the two ladies who've been enduring every condition here at the Ulinzi Sports Complex, and it is the 800 meters heptathlon with Sally Chepkosgei, who won the 200 meters yesterday, and Anne Gerono Chelego. So we are waiting to see who wins this one to amaze the points and enable them finish in those positions. So off they go. Quite a start there by Sally Chepkosgei. Yeah, couldn't just get off the blocks on time, but it's all about the endurance. They always say that it's not about who finishes first, but the amount of points accumulated. As you said, Edwin, of course, breaking the national record in decathlon, winning that event with 7,179 points, breaking the previous record of 7,170. So that is Anne Gerono Chelego. She'll be aiming to at least try and catch up with Sheila, who's been so good on the track. And of course, this is an accumulation of events over 2 days. And as they say, it's a 2-day track event with multiple event competitions for women. And Gerono Chelego hits the bell, 1 minute 10 seconds. Sheila struggling a little bit to catch up. So on day one, the two did the 100 meters hurdle, sprinting over 10 hurdles. On the second day, and then they did the high jump, then the short put, and the 200 meters sprint. Then today, they've done the long jump. They've already done the javelin, and now they're doing the 800 meters. So it's so energy sapping that it has to be an event where you have the endurance all the way. So the points are awarded based on a standard scoring table provided by the World Athletics, not by placing against the competitors in each and every event. And for this one, if you're a lady taking part in heptathlon, of course you have to be versatile. And it being an Olympic game, we hope that one day Kenya will be represented there, because for these ladies, you must be good both in field and track events. But there comes Anne Gerono Chelego. She will be winning this 800 meters. She seems tired, but just gets through that. 2 minutes, 31.41 seconds is the time posted by Anne Gerono Chelego. And Sheila will be coming a distant second as she jogs towards the finishing line in 2 minutes 54.1 seconds. So that signals the end of the 800 meters heptathlon. And of course, attention will be shifting to the 1,500 meters men final, where I expect fireworks. Ronald Cheriot, Patrick Kiprono Koech, Brian Komen, Abel Kipsang, I love this, Dominic Barngetuny, Dixon Kipkosgei, Vincent Kibet Keter, the man from prisons, Duncan Waweru, Peninas Nyandieka, Carlos Kipruto, Emmanuel Lemama, Braven Kipto, and Elisha Kipkorir Bet. So this will be very interesting, and they are running down the track 3.5 laps. This will be very interesting because we know this is a rich field of 1,500 meter runners.
I think the only person missing here is the South African-based Timothy Cheriot, shifted camp from Rongai Athletics Club and now based in South Africa. That is the only man missing. Remember, we have Reynold Cheriot in this field. We have Brian Kiprop Komen in this field. We have Abel Kipsang. We have Vincent Keter, all of them lining up in this particular field. This will be a tight race. Who will be booking a ticket to the Africa Senior Championship? I'm quite surprised to see Reynold Cheriot in this particular field. Remember, he was at the Olympics. He was at the Olympics with Timothy Cheriot and Bremen and Brian Komen. He really wants to run the Africa Championship. That's why he's here.
Well, I remember the two actually are currently under the police recruit program. So maybe they came here to shake off some weight. They are currently at, I think, Embakasi. And among those athletes that are recruited by the National Police Service. But it's interesting to see how, it will be interesting to see how Cheriot and Brian will pull out this, because they've always been very good in this event. But don't forget Abel Kipsang. Abel Kipsang is also there, and maybe he will be able to pull something out they want to go and run continentally before they head to the Commonwealth Games. So it will be a good race. Let's wait and see what will unfold.
And we'll be crossing over to the track side where Charity has lined up the 400 meters interviews, and over to you, Charity, as we wait for the start of this 1,500 meters men final. So over to you, Charity.
The race was not easy. It was a mind game. Yeah, nashukuru coaches wangu vile wamenifunza tactics. Yeah.
All the best and congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm also joined by the third finisher, but the second fastest Kenyan, there's Dennis Masika Mulongo. Dennis, unafeel aje na lengo lako uko kwa World Relays ni gani?
Kwanza ningependa kushukuru Mungu kwa umbali amenitoa. At least saizi there is some improvement and we expect more improvement. Yeah.
Ni nini sana pengine utaenda work on?
Yeah, because for now I'll just work on my endurance, because speed nasikia iko. So I'll just work on my endurance, then all will be fine. Yeah.
Okay, all the best and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, I'm also joined by Kenneth Amuka, who has also qualified for Team Haron Adoli, of Uganda, who has also qualified for his team here. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, it's a great feeling because over the past few weeks we have been doing something a little bit to check our body, and our last training, you know, the trials here was abrupt, but we knew we could do well. So I think it's just an amazing stuff. We came here and did our best. Yeah.
All the best and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, those were our first three athletes in the 400 meters. We had Haron Adoli from Uganda, followed by Kelvin Kiprotich Tonui, and Dennis Mulongo finishing the top three. Over to you as we continue with the next.
And now it is time for the 1,500 meters. The lineup is rich. Reynold Chariot, bronze medalist at the World Championships last year in Tokyo. Patrick Rotich, Brian Kiprop Komen, Abel Kipsang, Dominic Barngetuny, Vincent Keter, Dixon Kipkosgei. Just some of the names to watch out in this 1,500 meters. As we also witness the javelin men final that should be happening. Be giving you the lineup of that in a bit. Diego Julius is also in this lineup, but straight away we head to the 1,500 meters, which is just about to kickstart, and it is 3.5 laps on this track. The world bronze medalist from Tokyo last year, Reynold Chariot, the man in the front right now, former world junior champion, Abel Kipsang, Brian Komen. These are some of the athletes to watch out for as they navigate through that curve. There's the man we talking about, Reynold Chariot, the man with the bling. He's been a world junior champion in Cali 2022 and finally won a world medal at the senior level last year in Tokyo. So this is still a race that anyone can actually run away with, but Reynold Chariot currently dictating the pace there as they finish that first lap on this one. Watch out also for the likes of Brian Komen and Abel Kipsang. Right now, Patimas Tinega Nyandieka is also trying to keep up with the pace of this leading pack. And he checks off his shoulder. Chariot in second place. Duncan Waweru now assuming the lead. Just under 2 laps to go. The pace is getting faster and everyone is trying to align themselves in this one. Duncan Waweru still leading. Vincent Keter, former world junior champion, is now assuming the lead for the first time in this race. Also, Carlos Kipruto in that red bib, but then Keter still trying to see if he can maintain that pace, but then Ronald comes from the outside. It is Vincent Keter and Ronald Cheriot in a 1-2. Abel Kipsang also trying to ensure that he stays within touching distance as they are just about to hit the bell. Vincent Keter, Ronald Cheriot, Abel Kipsang. So who is gonna take it? Reynold just shifts the gears a little bit and now he is in the lead. As they take that curve into that last 350. It is Reynold Cheriot, the world bronze medalist in Tokyo. Vincent Keter trying so hard. Abel Kipsang trying to come from the outside also. But then it is Reynold Cheriot. Reynold Cheriot and Brian Komen. It is a neck to neck as they navigate through that 150. It is Reynold Cheriot signaling that this is my lane. Vincent Keter trying to respond. He is in third place currently, but then it is Reynold Cheriot, checks over his shoulder, checks right, checks left. Just try to see where Brian Komen is, but it will be a familiar 1-2 here as Reynold Cheriot hits that finishing line spectacularly, winning the 1,500. Brian Komen coming in second place, and this has been a very, very, very fast race. Look at them. Vincent Keter, I think, might have just nicked into fourth place. But the winner, Reynold Cheriot, is a man on ascendancy. He is the man to watch because after winning bronze in Tokyo in 2022, won the World Juniors, he checked where Brian Komen off. I think he just checked on the wrong side, but then it ends Brian Komen finishing second, and of course Reynold Cheriot winning this one. Bernard.
Yeah, that was a good race, and I just wanted to inform the viewers that Brian Komen holds the course record of that event. He won gold at Douala in Cameroon in 2024, where he clocked 3:33.95. Where Ayele Abdi Abdullahi from Djibouti was second, and Boaz Kiprugut managed to win bronze medal for Kenya. So if the three heads to Accra, Ghana, are they going to increase the medal tally, or they'll reduce that medal tally? So it's a matter of wait and see, and we'll see what will unfold. What is the next race, Mulemi?
Next up on our field, next up in the field will be the much anticipated 100 meters men and women final. Remember, this is the final day here at the Ulinzi Sports Complex. In 100 meter final will be joined by Esther Mbagari, Wilfrida Makenji from Tanzania, Diana Lilia Naoko, the silver medalist from the Betika finals, Eunice Kadogo, former silver medalist Africa Senior Championship. Millicent Doro will also be in this final as the favorite. Lucia Williams from South Sudan, gunning for fastest times. Jen Mirigo, and finally Evelyn Coley. Remember, the first three to close the line automatically make the team for the Kenya team for the World Athletics Relays, World Relays. Top three in the final make the team. And in the men category we'll be having the young Piep Deng from South Sudan, Ronald Koech, Dennis Mwai, Elkana Sabila, Moses Wasike, Marco Tieno, Meshak Babu, and Stephen Onyango. Up next is the 100 meters men and women final as the javelin continues on our farthest end of the field on our right.
as we wait for the 100 meters, the final, of course, both men and women. And I can see Reynolds Chariot walking towards that banner, and of course it will be interesting to hear what he has, because having competed in the World Athletics Championships, he wants to compete at the Africa Senior Athletics Championship, and it's just going to be better. So if Charity is ready with Brian Komen and Reynolds Chariot, then we can hand over to them. Just to hear what they say. So Charity, take it away.
We joined here by the fastest two Kenyan women in the 400 meters. We have Mercy Chebet and Shida Leni of Uganda finished second, and then we have Helen Siombua as the second Kenyan across the line. Mercy, unafeel aje? Already usha represent team Kenya, ukiweza kupata silver. Ni nini mulijifunza from last year's event ile mnaona mnaweza mtarekebisha raundi huko Botswana, at least muone kama mtaweza ku-upgrade silver ikuje gold?
Ya kwanza napenda kushukuru Mungu kwa mbio ya leo, nimekimbia at least PPC kama jana. Sasa tuna prepare kwenda Botswana for mixed relay. Najua tafanya vizuri kwa mixed relay.
All the best and congratulations.
Thank you, madam.
Okay, I'm also joined by Siombua. Siombua, umeweza kurepresent Kenya pia kwa World Cross Country, ukaweza kushika gold, na saa hii mnaenda kwenda kukimbia for the relays. Unafeel aje na unajipanga vipi?
Kwanza nashukuru Mungu. Sasa nafurahia sana juu last year si kama this year. I'm happy, nimeimprove. So tukienda Botswana World Rallies, we will make sure tumeleta mendo Kenya. Yeah.
All the best and congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, those are our fastest Kenyan women across the finish line in the 400 meters. Remember, the panel of selectors will also be a participant in this selection process to ensure that Team Kenya fields the best in the event. Over to you, Mlemi and Hilary, as we continue with the next event.
Thank you, Charity. She was speaking to Mercy Chebet, winner of the 400 meters earlier on. And of course, Shida Leni from Uganda, but that's the javelin action actually ongoing right now. The YouTube man is in action, Julius Diego. Also, watch out for Alexander Kiprotich. Not really a good throw there. And of course, everyone will be waiting to see what Mr. Diego is capable of doing. And for the javelin, 69 meters is the standard distance for those who want to participate in the Africa Senior Athletics Championships. So still much coming up, and the 100 meters is just about underway, as we witness that throw by the Paralympian Nathan Kiplagat Kemboi, straight up, dipping into, just about misses the 69-meter mark. So Kemboi will be having another go at that as the athletes walk towards the starting point in the 100 meters women final. That should be happening in a bit as the javelin action continues. That is Alexander Kiprotich, way over the 69-meter mark. That is a huge throw by Alexander Kiprotich, who is learning from the best, I suppose. Alexander Kiprotich, I think that's just about 76, 77 meters. Alexander Kiprotich. And I think that just makes it. And I think he makes it to that team for the Africa Senior Athletics Championship. That's a huge throw, Bernard.
Yeah, that was a huge throw from Alexander. And I think these are the athletes who Diego managed to mentor, and they've been following up in the footsteps of people like Diego. And that's why we have names like Irene, who is a student at the Texas Tech University in the US. And then I think, yes, and that is Diego walking down there, maybe seeing, he wants to see the action live. Remember, he has a gold medal from that event. And yes, we were talking about the ongoing event. Now we have the long jump. And of course, that is the athletes in the 100 meters women's final preparing. You can see they are preparing for that event. And quickly, I can mention about the long jump where Naomi Mwangi, Martha Nyabuto, Lilian Mapenzi, Veronica Chebet, Ida Perez Chepkorir, Regina Malai Mulatia, Faith Chepkemoi, and Ivy Cherono and Laventa Amutavi are tackling the long jump of women's finals on the other side. Of course, I'll hand over to my colleagues who will explain more about sprint. But remember, this event is brought to you courtesy of Betika na community. We have the KCB and Jubilee Insurance, who are the main sponsors of this event. Remember, if they are there because of these athletes, and we are all here because of the athletes. Of course, I've seen Timothy Kitum on the terraces there, following the actions live from Ulinzi Sports Complex. And that is the lineup for the 100 meters. Esther Mbagari in lane 1, lane 2, Winfrida Makenji, lane 3, Diana Lillian Aoko, lane 4, Eunice Kadogo, lane 5, Millicent Ndoro, lane 6, Lucia Williams Morris, that is from South Sudan, and Jen Mirigo Muturi in lane 7, and Evelyn Colley from Uganda in lane 8. So that is 100 meters of finals.
So a full lineup for this race. It is the 100 meters women final. Yes, Tambagari will be trying to redeem herself after a slow start to the season. And so it is expected that they'll all be putting their best foot forward for this one.
"100 meters women final. Lane number 1, national champion, S. Tambagari from Kenya Prisons. Lane 2, Wilfrida Filippo Makenji, all the way from Tanzania. Lane 3, silver medalist at the Betika finals, Diana Lillian Aoko. Lane number 4, former national champion. Lane number 5, Millicent Doro, favorite. Lane number 6, Lucia William, all the way from South Sudan and an Olympian. Lane number 7, Jen Mirigo. And lane number 8, Evelyn Colley, all the way from Uganda. Five Kenyans. Remember, the first 3 Kenyans to cross the line will be selected in the team for the World Relays. Who will it be? Will it be Millicent Doro, Eunice Kadogo, Liliana Oko, or will it be Jen Mirigo and Esther Bagari? First 3 Kenyans to cross the line, automatic selection into the team. In the men category, the top 5 Kenyans. Remember, this is because the men team have a 4x100 meters and the mixed 4x100 meters relay. In the 4x100, 6 athletes are required to be entered. That is why the top 5 will make the team. Then the 2 winners in the 200 meters join the team, and 2 other slots, the panel of selectors will select who to include. As for now, this is the 4x1, it's the 100 meters women final. The top 3 will join the 4x100 meters mixed relay team. That explains the selection. Calm before the storm. Mbagari, lane number 1. Wilfrida, lane number 2. Liliana Oko, lane number 3. Eunice Kadogo, lane number 4. Millicent Doro, lane number 5. Lucia William, lane number 6. Jen Mirigo, lane number 7. And Evelyn Coley, all the way from Uganda, in lane number 8. All eyes are on Lucia William, Millicent Doro, Eunice Kadogo, and Diana Lillian Awoko. Favorites placed in lane number 3, 4, 5, 6. Watch out for Lucia William, who's always a fast starter in lane number 6. Clean start there from the athletes. As expected, Lucia William in the lead, but Millicent Doros using her strides to come through and wins that one in a time of 11.57 seconds in a legal wind of 0.7. Millicent Doro is the winner of that particular. Remember, Millicent Doro just turned 40 years of age this year. The 40-year-old beats the young athletes to this one. Millicent Doro wins this one in a time of 11.57 seconds. Indeed, life begins at 40. Her life has just begun. Millicent Doro, as you can see on the replay, striding and just celebrating before crossing the line. In second position was Lucia William. Third was Diana Lillian Aoko. And in fourth was Eunice Kadogo. So the top 3 Kenyans is Millicent Doro, Lillian Diana Aoko, and Eunice Kadogo. The 3 join the other 5 male athletes in the Botswana-bound plane. As she celebrates her win in a time of 11.57 seconds.
Millicent Ndoro, of course, winning that 100 meters women final at 40. Wow, interesting. But I'd really love to know how Esther Mbagari is coping up with everything, because it's evident that she's been struggling a little bit and the season hasn't really gotten or started for her, and finishing in an unusual position, the national record holder. That will be interesting. I hope Charity gets that interview with them. Millicent Ndoro, of course, elated after that win. Look at how well she navigated through that crowd to stay clear ahead of Lucia Williams of South Sudan and winning that 100 meters 11:57. Just celebrating in style as she crossed the finishing line.
Indeed, Greg Mulemi, Millicent Doro winning that one, and Esther Mbagari finishing in 8th position in that particular final. As we wait for the men's version of the 100 meters, remember Moses Wasike will be lining up in this one. So is Mark Otieno Odhiambo, Dennis Moai, Stephen Onyango, Meshak Babu, Ronald Koech, the hot favorite on day 1, running in a time of 10.1 6 seconds faster than Ferdinand Omanyala's 10.19 seconds that he ran yesterday at the Cape Classic in South Africa. As it stands, Ronald Koech is the fastest Kenyan this year in a time of 10.16 seconds, followed by Ferdinand Omanyala in a time of 10.19 seconds. Will he produce what he had in the heats to win this one, or will Dennis Mwai pull a double by winning the 100 and 200 meters? Let's wait and see. Or is it Moses Wasike, the winner from the Betika finals? Will he come and take this one from the rest of the field? Or will it be Mark Otieno, former national champion, former national record holder over the 100 meters? This will be a tense and packed 100 meters. Or will it be Sabila, the surprise winner, who won the Thika AK meeting? That is Mark Otieno, always running in the Kenyan attire. Meshak Babu, the national champion. Lenane, Steve Odhiambo, just coming off an injury. In lane number 8, Lane Yanane. It's a lot of tension, but Mark Otieno just showing composure there. Always docked in a Kenyan uniform. As I explained yesterday, he doesn't wear Adidas or Nike because none of those brands are signed up with him to market them. So he better wear the patriotic Kenyan flag on his chest in every of his runs. As we wait for the 100 meters men final.
And I'm told Nike is gonna open a shop in the country together with Puma. So interesting times. Athletes will not have to go all the way to the United States to look for these kits, but it's time for the 100 meters, as Coach Hillary says. And the crowd already on their feet as they wait for the start of this one. Thiek Malek Deng, the 17-year-old, is not taking part in this final. So, as usual, we strike through. Ronald, who just finished second in the 200 meters of, is actually in lane number 2. Dennis Mwai, Elkana Kiprotich, Moses Wasike, the man who won the Bingo Fest. Mark Otieno, Meshak Kisubuli Babu, and Stephen Odhiambo, and off they go. Straight away, Moses Wasike tries to launch that, but Mark Otieno is fast. He's really fast. He's really fast, and wins it. 10.36, just beating Ronald. This is going to be reviewed, but then what a race. Ronald in lane number 2. Mark in lane number 7, but look at Ronald, blistering pace off the blocks, but then the response from Mark Otieno will be waiting to see between Mark and Ronald, who actually crossed that line, and I think it is... Oh, this is tight. This is really tight. This is really tight. Okay, we'll have to wait for that. And look at how they got off the blocks nicely. As Ronald was clear, but then look, oh, it's Mark Otieno, I think. It is Mark Otieno. I think it is Mark Otieno who won that one. Yes. He just about edges Ronald. Kiprono Koech. And Mark is back. Mark is back officially. Look at him running down the track side. 10.35 the official time. Look at that. But then this young man, Ronald Kiprono Koech, actually has announced himself on the big stage, the 26-year-old. But then Mark Otieno really had a distance to cover. Look at that acceleration. And, ooh, just about used his experience to edge out that one.
That was a tight race, Gregory. We are still trying to find who's the winner. Is it Mark Otieno or is it Ronald Koech?
And there you go once again as we witness that race. And I think just about, I think Mark Otieno just about winning that one. Let's wait and see from this angle. What an acceleration by Mark. Oh. Oh. It is Ronald Kiprono. Oh. According to the photo finish, Ronald clinches that one. 10.35 mark, 10.36. Amazing. This is debatable. Really debatable.
And in the photo finish, lane number 2 was the winner. Lane number 2 was Ronald Kiprono Koech, winning it in 10.35 seconds. Number 2 was lane number 6. That was lane number 6 was Mark Otieno in 10.36 seconds. Number 3 was lane number 5 by Moses Wasike. Number 4 was in lane number 4. That was Sabila. And 5th position is Dennis Moy.
And of course, we'll be ready for the interview in the 1,500 meters as we just witnessed a very good 100-meter race here. And Charity has lined up interviews with Reynold Cheriot in the 1,500 meters and of course Brian Comment. So over to you, Charity.
Okay, I'm joined here by the top first 2 finishers in the 1,500 meters. We have the world silver medalist in the 1,500, Reynold Cheriot, sorry. Reynold, how do you feel? Unafeel aje kuhusu kwenda ku upgrade title yako huko Africa?
First of all, I want to thank God for giving me today's strength so that I win the trials of today. So preparation yetu sasa tunaenda kukaa chini na huyo rafiki yangu Brian Comment. Sa hiyo mwezi wa 5 prepare tunaenda kuingia kambi tu train na huyo jamaa. Alafu tuende tunganganie Africa. Make sure nimeleta medali ya Africa kwa senior level.
Wakati wako wa kwanza ukikimbia Africa ukiwa junior, ulikuwa hiyo time ulikuwa na wasiwasi, na sasa hii ushapata uzoefu, unaona itakuwa vipi kwako?
Yeah, of course, you know the first when you are starting something unakuanga na uoga mingi, so hiyo time nilikuwa na uoga, lakini venye nilikimbia in Zambia nikiwa junior nika produce good results, nilikimbia 3:33. So nashukuru Mungu. Hope hiyo uwanja ya Kana itakuwa faster, tuta improve tena time hapo.
All the best and congratulations.
Thank you, madam.
Okay, I'm also joined by the second finisher who is Brian Comment. Sorry. Yeah. Brian, unafeel aje saa hii focus ni Africa, Accra, Ghana?
I'm happy. Kwanza nimekukata hiyo team. Nashukuru Mungu na wenye tulikuwa nasaidiana wote kwa mazoezi. My coach, my physio, pia nawashukuru sana. Preparation yangu saa hii ni kwenda kudefend hiyo African champion, kwa sababu mimi ndo niko nayo. Tutaenda kusaidiana na Reynold tuweze kuleta hiyo medali nyumbani bado. Yeah.
All the best and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Okay, that is the Africa defending champion in the 1,500, Brian Comment. And also we have the world silver medalist in the 1,500 meters, Reynold Cheriot, going to upgrade his junior title to a gold in the senior category. Over to you as we continue with the next race.
as we get ready for the start of the 5,000 meters. And the field is Rich Amason Sampaio Kireu, Laban Kosgei, Dennis Kipkoech, Matthew Kipruto, Moses Kirimi, Noah Kiplagat, Andrew Alamasi, Evans Kiplagat, Nyairo, Sigei, Lesia, Pariken, and Kelvin Ndungu.
Yeah, a good number here of athletes whom we are going to watch. Of course, we have Matthew Kipkoech, who was second in his heat. We have Dennis Kipkoech there. We have Andrew Alamisi, who is the under-20 champion. And as the race starts in a few, remember Kenya will be seeking to send a strong team that will be able to increase the medal tally here. And these are 12 laps of this event. Ongoing conversations here about who won that 100 meters race. It was a photo finish, and a lot of discussion ongoing here. Training mates looking at how these guys tackled the 100 meters finals race, and everybody's talking about that race. Remember, we said that sprint has grown in the country, and remember, the one who won in the last edition, that is in Douala, Cameroon, he managed to win. He crossed the line in 10.13. That was Joseph Van Bule from Liberia, followed by Manuel Eseme from Cameroon, 10.15. And the third athlete was Benjamin Richardson from South Africa, who clocked 10.17. So for Kenyans to do well, they have to really dig deeper and run, and of course, clock better times. Of course, they have to qualify for this event. Well, that is the 5,000 meters race, the men's final. And on the other side, men's javelin final is ongoing, and also long jump women ongoing. The likes of Gloria Muley or Faith Kipsang, those are household names. And we have a student from Coast who is also the East Africa Games, school games champion, Lillian Mapenzi, who is also competing in this event. How will she jump today? How will the champions maybe jump here today? Are we going to witness a record here? Well, it's a matter of wait and see. Well, I was telling you about the 5,000 meters race that's about to start, and Kenya is going to look for a title there, because last edition in 2024 in Douala, Cameroon, we did not win any medal. That is, Mohamed managed to win. Ishmael, of course, they start off smoothly, and we'll be looking at how the race will progress. Remember, I told you earlier that 5,000 meters race, which I know a number of coaches will also agree with me, it has become a sprint event, because normally when it starts, it has a very fast pace, and athletes really tackle that 12 laps like it's an easy thing. It's a joke, but they're doing a good business there. So, of course, Ibrahim Hussein walking around, making sure that things are ongoing well. So 12 laps to go, we'll win this race. We have a number of good athletes here, and just to go through the list, we have Kevin Dungu, Nixon Lesia Pariken, Kevin Sigei, Dominic Nyairo Mare, Evans Kiplagat, Andrew Kipto Alamisi, Noah Kiplagat Chumba, Moses Kirimi Mungadia, Matthew Kipruto Koech, Dennis Kemboi, Laban Kipto Kosgei, and Amason Kireu. Those are the ones battling it out for the top 3 positions to represent Kenya at the Africa Senior Athletics Championships in Accra, Ghana. Well, as I was telling you last edition, Kenya missed out in the podium positions, but we had Mohamed Ismail Ibrahim from Djibouti winning the race in 13:38:38, and we had Nibret Melak from Ethiopia winning a silver medal and in 13:42:95, with Abdi Wais Moyadin from Djibouti also coming in third, 13:43:20. No, in the 2022 edition, we can go back and look at what happened in Mauritius. That is where our own Ferdinand Omanyala managed to record on 9:93, which was an African record, winning in 100 meters. But looking at the 5,000 meters, Kenya managed to win a silver medal through Daniel Ebenyo Simiu, who managed to run 13:38:79. But the winner of this race was Ethiopia's Haile Mariam Amare, who clocked 13:36:79, with Hikam Akankam from Morocco winning 13:38:79. 13:40:39. So that was our results for the 2022 edition, which happened in Mauritius, where 500 athletes from 40 African countries out of the 54 countries participated in that 22nd edition. Of course, the event was originally scheduled to be held in 2020 in Algeria, but had to be cancelled due to the COVID-19 pandemic, where all the games had been stopped. Now let's go back to 2020. We are looking at the history of the 5,000 meters race. And, well, we had, it happened in Asaba, Nigeria, at Stephen Keshi Stadium, where we had about, I'll be telling you how many athletes participated in. But remember, this Africa event was last held in Nairobi in 2010. That is the last time Kenya held this event. That was in 2010 in Nairobi. It was followed in 2012 by Benin, 2014 in Morocco, 2016 in South Africa, 2018 in Asaba, Nigeria, 2022 in Mauritius, and 2024 in Douala, Cameroon. So at the 2020 edition, of course, there was a 2018 edition that happened in Nigeria. Kenya managed to finish in third position behind South Africa. South Africa, where they bagged 14 medals, 9 gold medals, 3 silver and 2 bronze medals. Nigeria won 8 gold medals, followed by 5 silver and 6 bronze medals, making it a total of 19. Well, Kenya had the largest number of medals, but that was 20 medals, 5 gold medals, 8 silver medals, and 7 bronze medals. So far, Kenya has been able to bag a total of 424 medals since 1979 to 2024. Yeah, so that's just of course a small history, but now going to the of course 8 laps to go. We can see now Matthew has just taken the lead of this event. That is Matthew Kipkoech. Matthew Kipkoech trains in Iten. Of course, he has represented Kenya before in the World Cross Country Championships. He trains in Iten. And of course, Dennis Kipto closely following him. That is, he is second. And Alamisi just watching from far, but of course, maybe looking at what is ongoing now. That is the photo finish of the 100 meters men's final. That was the photo finish. You can see a judge who won the race. That is, of course, Ronald Kiprono Koech managed to win that race according to the photo finish pictures there. And we also have Mark Otieno, who managed to finish second. It was a photo finish between the two. Well, Matthew Kipkoech has dropped from that race. It's now Dennis who is now taking control of this race. Remember, Dennis represented Kenya at the World Under-20 Championships 2 years ago in the 5,000 meters race. Was it 5,000 or 3,000? I'll be able to tell you in a few. Six laps to go. They, of course, there with 7:20. Well, that is the ongoing race. We are live from Ulinzi Sports Complex, and the race is Dennis Kiptor. Dennis Kiptos leading the pace there. I'm trying to look at the second athlete. I'm trying to get the bib number, but it depends on how the race is. Well, remember, it's 5 laps to go before we conclude that race. We'll be able to get to know if these athletes will be able to qualify and to represent Kenya at the Africa Senior Athletics Championships in Accra, Ghana.
Thank you all for joining us. I can see some responses from our YouTube and Facebook page, and others are sending their messages. Vera Rore, watching all the way from Nairobi. Collins Omae, watching all the way from the United States of America. Emmanuel Nuwagaba, all the way from Uganda. Thank you very much for joining. Gilbert Osure, watching all the way from Narok. Keep tuning. Share that link. Show the world. Ferdinand Omanyala, watching all the way from South Africa, and wishes all the Kenyan sprinters all the best. He tells me he'll be running in Ethiopia, then coming to Kipkeino Classic. But he's trying to fix the first phase of his 100 meters. As you saw yesterday, the second phase was a little bit better than the first race. All the best, Ferdinand Omanyala from South Africa. Leave your comment on the YouTube channel. We'll be reading your comments in a short while.
Thank you very much, Coach. Those watching and listening to our commentary, we are really grateful because we are there for you. And all the best, Ferdinand. I normally call him Shemeji. But I wish you all the best. If you're listening, of course, going to Addis is another high altitude area. I know you understand that, and I know you're looking forward to a good race in that Grand Prix event.
Do you know sprinters run very fast times when they leave low altitude and running in when you come from low altitude to high altitude? That explains why Omanyala ran 977 here in Nairobi after coming from South Africa, a low altitude area. Remember, Kenya is a high altitude of about 1,600 meters above sea level. So him coming from South Africa, sea level, coming to run in altitude. We expect fast times in Ethiopia and in Nairobi.
Wow, wow. Thanks very much for that. Now I know why he's doing very well. Thank you, Omanyala. Well, 2 laps to go. We have 5 athletes stuck together. Alamisi in the group. Dennis, of course, Dennis has is the 2024 that is a World Under 20 Championships 3,000 meters as silver medalist. He also has a gold medal in the Africa Under 20 Championships from Abeokuta, and also he was in the senior team at the World Cross Country Championships in Tallahassee. So this is one athlete to watch. He has a personal best of 7:48.48 in the 3,000 meters, and of course he has represented Kenya at the global stages before. And he's not new in competition with of course Alamisi. I'll be telling you who the second athlete following. That is Amason Sampau Kireu. Kireu now following Kipkoech closely there, and Alamisi third. So currently leading in the last lap is Dennis Kipkoech Kemboi, followed by Amason Sampao, and of course Andrew Alamisi there closing in and running a brilliant race there, a calculative race, as you can see now. Sampao trying to overtake with the long strides. Will he be able to manage to of course it's now a sprint finish there. He tried, but no, Dennis refused that, and coming into the curve, into the last 100 meters, of course Sampao has been dropped there, and it's a race between Kipkoech and Alamisi. Remember, the two also represented Kenya at the World Under 20 Championships in Lima. That is Dennis Kipkoech finishing in 13:33.76, followed by Andrew Alamisi. The two athletes represented Kenya at the World Under 20 Championships in Lima, Peru in 2024.
Coach Rotich, is Alamisi the one for 1,500 meters? Is it the same person or this is a different one?
No, sometimes he runs 1,500 just to use the race for speed, build his speed. Of course, to help him finish the race. As you can see, as I said earlier, 5,000 is becoming a sprint event. In the last 400 meters, you have to sprint so that you can be able to make it. But you can see how the race unfolds. As you can see the replay there.
I remember Bekele used to do around 51, 52 on the final lap. And Faith nowadays does 55, 54, 56 in the final lap. So this 5,000 meters and 10,000 meters, 5,000 meters is becoming a sprint race, and the 10,000 meters, the final 3 laps are becoming sprint races. I remember Kiplimo and Cheptegei doing 56 seconds in the final laps.
Well, that's from the coach's mouth. We are not coaches here, but he has explained it. And talking about Bekele, I was fortunate enough last evening to meet with Haile Gebrselassie, who has actually become he's a very good friend of mine, and he was very happy to see me. We chatted, we talked at the Soya Awards, where Wanyonyi won the Sports of the Year award personality, the men's, and of course Beatrice Chebet winning the women's award. So Haile was very happy to attend the event, and he was saying maybe Eastern Africa needs such awards so that they can bring all the sporting fraternity together so that they can be able to celebrate these champions. So remember, we are coming live from Ulinzi Sports Complex in Nairobi, that is in Lang'ata, Nairobi County, and it's good to see different athletes, of course, coming out to compete in this event where they are battling it out to get slots for the continental event in Accra, Ghana, and the World Relay Championships that will be held in Botswana. I'm keenly following on the long jump because of one, we have a national champion there, that is Faith Kipsang, and two, we have East Africa School Games champion, that is, of course, Lillian Mapenzi, and Lillian comes from Kilifi in the coast, that is in Kilifi County. That tells you we have very good athletes coming from Mombasa or the coast region, and they all need support to participate in this event. Well, we are done with the 5,000 meters race, and on to the next event, that will be 800 meters women's final race. 800 meters finals race. As we wait for more interviews, we shall be waiting also to see. I can give you the lineup for the 800 meters of women's final race. That is Dorothy Chebet, Miriam Chemtai Cheprang, Mary Ngige Wangari, Sheila Chepchirchir, Faith Cherono Ngetich, Vivian Kiprotich Chebet, Mercy Jepto Ngetich, Pauline Muhonjandusu, and Alice Nasban Ekiru. Of course, those, as you can hear those names, they are not the usual names. We have other upcoming athletes who are now taking over from the usual names who are not competing here today. Of course, it's an Africa event. Well, as we are awaiting the 800 meters women's final, we also have the men's final coming up later. That is Cornelius Kipkoech Tuwei, Aaron Cheminingwa, Brian Kiptoarono, Brian Musioka Masai, Kevin Kimtai Loti, Nicodemus Kirui Kiprono, Kevin Kipkogei, and Laban Kipkorir Chepkony. So those are the athletes who will be competing in the 800 meters finals race. Well, from my sitting position, I can see the women in the 800 meters taking strides there, slowly by slowly going to the starting point. And we expect a good race here. We'll see what will unfold. We'll be able to qualify and make it to the national team that will represent Kenya at the Africa Championships. athletes in the 800 meters there taking positions. Remember, it's a 2-lap race. And we shall be seeing how the athletes, Dorothy Chebet, Miriam Chemtai Cheprang, Mary Ngige Wangari, Sheila Chepchirchir, Faith Cherodo Ngetich, Vivian Kiprotich Chebet, Mercy Ngetich, Pauline Muhonja Ndusu, Alice Ekiru. Of course, Vivian, mentioning about Vivian Chebet, she has been able to represent Kenya in various events. I saw her at the Olympic Games, at the World Championships, at the World Indoors last year. And she's still here to also try her best and make it the national team to the Africa Senior Championships. So those are the 9 athletes we need to watch and get to know who will make it the three positions that will represent Kenya at the Africa Championships. And of course, on the other side is the men's javelin ongoing.
And we're on the 800 meters women final happening right now. Dorothy Chebet, Miriam Chemtai, Mary Ngige Wangari, Sheila Chepchirchir, Faith Jerono Ngetich, Vivian Kipkorir Chebet, Mercy Jepto, Pauline Muhonja Ndusu, Alice Ekiru. 2 laps on track. And Pauline Muhonja Ndusu trying to ensure that she's primed to a better place. And of course, dictate the early proceedings here. So the Africa Senior Athletics Championships will be in Accra, Ghana from the 12th to the 17th of May. And for the 800 meters, the standard qualification time is 2 minutes, 0.06 seconds. As they hit the bell, that's quite fast because they are well within that. So they have to make sure that they run inside 1 minute to ensure that at least all of them get that chance of getting to Team Kenya. So Muhonja still leading, closely followed by Vivian Chebet from the outside. That is Dorothy Chebet. She's trying so hard to sneak in from the outside, but Muhonja still hanging in there. Vivian Cherotich currently in second place, and now she starts whizzing past Pauline Muhonja. Alice Ekiru in third place, also coming from the outside. But that is Vivian Kiprotich. Muhonja hanging on in second place. She'll just about finish in third, but Vivian wins it. 2 minutes, 3.61 seconds. I think she just about attained that qualification time. And that means that the 800 meters is safe for now.
Mulemi, remember we had 2 medals at the last event, in the last edition in 2024, where Sarah Mora managed to bag a gold medal, followed by Lilian Odera, a silver medal, and Lilian Odera went ahead to be a world champion.
Lilian Odera, of course, became a household name after winning the Africa Senior Athletics Championship, and thereafter going ahead to winning the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo last year. But the focus now shifts to the men's race, and I understand there are 2 hits in the final. So in hit number 1, actually it is only 1 hit, I beg your pardon, Cornelius Tuwei Aaron Cheminingwa, Brian Kipto Rono, Brian Musyoka, Kelvin Loti, Nicodemus Kirui, Kelvin Kipkosgei, and Laban Kipkorir Chepkwony. So we are ready for the men's 800 meters final.
Just a correction, the African title is with the Mora, the young Mora. Sarah Mora is the African champion. Just a correction, coming in from the Lion of Turkana, Zablon Nkwam. Thank you for watching, Zablon. As we move over to the 800 meters men final. Favorites in this one, Cheminingwa, Tuwei, Loti. This is quite a packed field here. 800 meters men final. We have Aaron Cheminingwa, Cornelius Tuwei, Brian Rono, Brian Masai, Kelvin Loti, Nicodemus Kirui, Kevin Kipkosgei, and Laban Chepkwony. Who will book the ticket to the Africa Senior Championship? Oh, what a bad start from the athlete in lane number 3, Brian Rono. He remains stagnant as the gun had already fired, but he tries to catch up. In the lead is Laban Chepkwony in lane number 8, just closing in now, joining the inside lane. This is a fast race, everybody trying to be at the front. Loti just coming over to take the lead. Laban Chepkwony still in the lead, and they slow the things down now. Laban Chepkwony tells all of them, let us relax, guys. We have one more lap to go, as they slow the game down. Loti just in second position, who is the favorite for this one. With one lap to go, they cross with 52 seconds. 52 seconds first lap. Cheminingwa, tall, dark fella in the outer lane, coming to negotiate with 300 meters to go. Laban Chepkwony still in the lead. Loti second. Cheminingwa fourth. The experienced Cornelius Tuwei just in the last position. Will he pull a surprise and overtake with 200 meters to go? Not as it seems. Loti, Laban Chepkwony now still in the lead. Laban Chepkwony hangs as Loti, who's always a strong finisher in the last 100 meters, comes over. There we go. Laban Chepkwony. Laban Kipkorir. Loti now takes the lead. Loti. And Loti wins that one in a time of 1:45.05 seconds as Laban Chepkwony takes the second position. What a race. This is the fastest time run this year on Kenyan soil. 1:45.05 seconds by Loti.
Remember, Loti was at the Olympic Games. He represented Kenya at the Olympic Games, but he didn't reach far. But I think he's now gaining experience, and we'll be battling out with the likes of Wanyonyi in the next championships, of course.
Loti was the surprise winner during the Olympic trials, and everybody was asking, where is this guy? Remember also he won the national trials, so he's the national champion and the trials winner. As Laban Chepkwony comes in second position, and Brian Masai. Tuwei tried as much as he could in bib number 667, running from behind, but he couldn't get to the front. Third position, Brian Masai. All the three booked the ticket to the African Senior Athletics Championship in Accra, Ghana. As Charity takes us through the interviews of the 100 meters men and women races. Charity, please take over.
That was a nice 5,000 meters race. I'm joined here by the first two finishers in the event. We have Dennis Kipkoech and Andrew Alamisi making it for Team Kenya for the Africa Championship. Unafeel aje mbio ya leo imekuwa vipi kwako?
Mbio ya leo haikuwa mbaya, nilikuwa nimejiandaa. So mahem ni kakate timu ya Afrika.
Na sasa vile umeweza kukata na ukikimbia, ni nini sana sana uliona utahitaji kwenda kuimprove?
Nitaimprove tu kati ya mambo na speed wa juu. Tunataka tusaidie timu ya Kenya turidhike na Kenya 5,000 ikuje kwetu. Last time wenye walienda huko hawakufanya poa huko, lakini tunaenda kujaribu sisi kabisa. Tunaenda kufanya timu ndio tulete hiyo kitu nyumbani.
All the best and congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, that was Dennis Kipkoech talking about his ambitions for the Africa Championship that will be staged from 12th to 17th of May in Accra, Ghana. And now I'm joined by Andrew Alamisi. Andrew, karibu kwa senior events kabisa.
Asante.
Umeweza kukimbia leo, pengine umeevaluate mwili, una feel vipi?
Leo kwanza nataka nishukuru Mungu. Ameniwezesha, amenijalia nguvu. Tangu ni kuja huku tumekuwa kwa camp ya Kiganja, tuko police, lakini nataka nishukuru huko tumekuwa tukifanya mazoezi kidogo kidogo, wakitupea hata 1 hour tunatumia kwa mazoezi. Nataka niwashukuru wote, na pia my training mate wenye wako 18, coach, management na wanariadha wenzangu nataka niwashukuru. Walionipea moral jana, wakaniambia ni push tu kidogo, kila kitu itakuwa sawa. Yeah.
All the best and congratulations.
Thank you, madam.
Okay, that is Andrew Alamisi talking about his training program. Remember, he's also still at the Police Training College in Keganjo. He's also encouraging his teammates back in Iten, and he's happy that he has made it to Team Kenya. Both Alamisi and Dennis are promising that they will be able to deliver and carry the Kenyan flag high in Ghana. Over to you as we continue with the next event.
Well, beautiful scenes here from Ulinzi Sports Complex. It's a sunny day. Some parts of skies we have clouds, but it's a good morning here, still morning, and we are waiting for the relay events, and then the last event will be the 3,000 meters steeplechase event, where of course Kenya has always been performing well, but the medals have started fading away. Are we going to reclaim the titles? Remember, the steeplechase was last won by a Ugandan, Leonard Chemtai, and of course the team that will be selected will be trying to reclaim that title. Of course, remember, this event is graced by the Athletics Kenya President, Lieutenant General Jack Tuwei, accompanied by Dan Wanyama, who is the Member of Parliament to Webuye West, and a number of dignitaries there. From my point of where I'm seated, I can see a number of dignitaries there, a number of veterans, roster tar seated there, a number of coaches also, just to witness who will be able to make it to the national team. Just a recap of the 1,500 meters there. You can see Reynold finishing the race comfortably there, and Brian Comment finishing second with his signature of course, the tongue. And of course, the two, I'm told the two are currently National Police Service recruits in Embakasi, and they just came here to grace this event to compete and try to make slots for Team Kenya. You can see on the other side, I can see a number of journalists trying to take stories here and to jot down a few notes, make sure that they have the right facts while doing their stories. Well, as we wait, of course, another race there, recap of the 400 meters race there. Of course, the Ugandan athlete finishing in style, that is Haron Adoli, winning the race in style. Of course, Kiprotich coming in second there. He came in second. Just a recap of what has been happening since morning. You can see how Ulinzi, of course, fans scattered there, seated at various points where they feel it good for them to watch the race. A recap of the 400 meters race there. Mercy Chebet doing her thing there. And missing in action today was Mercy Akech. That is Mercy Chebet winning. They share the name Mercy. Mercy Chebet going to cross the line there in style. Just a recap of the 400 meters women's final race that happened earlier in the morning. Of course, we are doing this just to remind you what has taken place, and as we await for the next few events of the day. We are waiting for the relay teams to turn up, relay teams, and of course, then the last race will be the 3,000 meter steeplechase event in the men's final race. As you can see there, that is Ulinzi. And I'll tell you one thing about, of course, I've been privileged to travel, and we have this Hayward Field event, Hayward Field facility in the US, in Oregon. I'll be telling you about that, but this is a recap of the 100 meters. Millicent Ndoro there. As you can see, she started slow, but in the middle she managed to increase her pace, and with the long strides there, she beats a tough field there to finish, to win the race ahead of South Sudan's Lucia Williams, who was second. Yeah, so that's part of the sprints. For those who are watching from far, thank you for joining us all the way from the US, Japan, France, United Kingdom. Thanks for, of course, another angle there for the sprints finish in the 100 meters. The slow motion of that race. You can see how the athletes were really going for that, for the finish. And I think Doro winning over Lucia, it was a disadvantage for Lucia, who has short strides, while Millicent Doro has long strides, finishing the rest there in style.
Rotich, we have good news from long jump. I know Vera Rore is waiting for this. Faith Chepkemoi has jumped a distance of 6.26 meters in the long jump, attaining the qualifying mark for the Africa Senior Championship. 6.26 meter. That is good news from the women long jump. 6.26 meters by Faith from the Kenya Defence Forces. Remember, she also broke the high jump record when she jumped a distance of 1.80 meters.
Wow, that's good news. She's really going places. Faith Kipsang, she has jumped 6.26 meters. Of course, qualifying for the Africa or continental event in Accra, Ghana. And she has also a national record in the high jump, which she did in the first day. She is really soaring, and we keep an eye to her. Of course, while I was introducing the lineup when they started this event, I also said that you need to watch on her, and actually she has done it. So I know she's going to compete while during the championships. Well, a recap of the 100 meters men's race there, which was a photo finish. Look at how those men were tackling the 100 meters event. Very nice. Oh, wow. Oh, someone picked an injury there. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that was the 100 meters, a recap of that race. And we are doing this at the combined national trials in Nairobi. We'll have a look again at the 100 meters race. Yes, as I was saying, of course, Faith has been doing marvelous things there, and she is heading to the Africa Championships after jumping a distance of 6.26 meters. And I know with good training and good facilities and with the right program, she will be able to even surpass that distance. We have good field event athletes. We just need a little bit support, a little bit boost, and they'll be able to make and of course become champions. Remember, these are combined national trials for the World Athletics Relay Championships and the Africa Senior Athletics Championships that will be held in Accra, Ghana. A recap of the 5,000 meters. Dennis Kipto there with Alamisi in tow. Of course, Dennis has a silver medal in the World Under-20 Championships from Lima, Peru in 2024. He has been doing well in the long distance races, and there he showed that he is still the man to beat here at this facility. Alamisi managed to finish in second place. Well, we are almost at the tail end of this event, and we are going to see who will make it to the two teams that are supposed to be selected today later, and where they will be starting their preparations for that event. Remember, time is not on our side. It's already 2 weeks. It's about 2 weeks away before the event happens. So we are waiting to see what the Federation and the Ministry of Sports will say about this. Remember, that is the javelin ongoing there, the men's final javelin, where, of course, Julius Diego has a gold medal in this event. And yeah, of course, javelin there, as I told you, it's ongoing, and Alexander Kiprotich has just through 74.85, something that he has maintained in the two throws, and I think he has qualified, of course, for the Africa event. Well, I told you I'll be talking to a number of people, and someone is seated here next to me. He doesn't want to talk to me, but he's running away. Well, he's one of the athletics gurus in this town, and he doesn't want to talk to me. But what we are doing is just making sure that we build the sport and make it even better. And as I was talking to Hussein yesterday, that he was talking about technology, even bringing the wave lights to Kipkeino Classic in the next I think 2 weeks or 1.5 weeks there. Bringing it there is just part of the technology that the world has now embraced. So technology is very important, and that's why for those who are far away, USA, South Africa, Omanyala, pokea salamu zangu, I know you've received again. It's through the technology, it's through this that we are doing here that you are able to listen and to watch what is going in Ulinzi. So we are waiting for the relays so that we can be able to finish with the last event, which is 3,000 meters steeplechase, the last event of the day. Remember, this is made possible by our sponsors, Kenya Commercial Bank, that is KCB, Betikana Community, and Jubilee Insurance, who are making sure. And I think I can see the CEO for Jubilee Insurance on the other side of the VIP. Of course, seated there, I can also see the director of Kipkeino, Mr. Barnaba Korir, and a number of dignitaries there, Dan Wanyama, the Member of Parliament from Obuye. And of course, Korir is the first Vice President at the National Olympics Committee of Kenya. Of course, javelin, their final, they're ongoing. As you can see at the behind there, at the fence there is Julius Yego trying to instruct. And I think that's how coaching normally starts. Is showing how that guy, how he can throw it. I can't get his bib number, but I'll be able to tell you who is that. And of course, he has thrown it so well. Wow, if my cameraman can bring, you can see how the javelin gurus there, that is Julius Yego and Kiprotich, are celebrating on the other side. Of course, my cameraman is concentrating on the terraces and of course the fans following athletics. But I think, yes, that is a picture there. Of course, they are celebrating after he threw. Is that Kiprotich? I'll be able to tell you who is that. No, that's not Kiprotich. Kiprotich is now going to throw it. Well, of course, that is, I'm told that is, I'm going to give you his name right away, the javelin's men. That is Boniface Kilonzo. There he was celebrating, and currently throwing the javelin is Kiprotich. Wow, that is massive. Wow, wow. Well, you should see how the fans here are very happy for that throw, and we will be able to get to know later the distance he managed to throw. Of course, the other guy who was celebrating with Julius Yego, that is Boniface Kilonzo. We will be also to be able to know the height, the distance he managed to throw the javelin. So minimal activities here at Ulinzi as we wait for the relays and the 3,000 meters steeplechase event. Yeah, it has been a good 3-day action-packed event. A number of athletes managed to compete and participate here. And we want to wish all the other athletes. We have athletes who are outside the country who will be competing tomorrow in various races. We also have Amanyala who is in South Africa, and he will be crossing over to the other side of Ethiopia to compete at the Grand Prix in Ethiopia. Remember, it's a bronze level event from World of Athletics. It's the first edition. It's happening in Ethiopia on April 18th. Then he will be able to also fly into the country to prepare for the Kipkeino Classic event, which is going to take place on 24th, April 24th, here in Nairobi, where a number of athletes have, of course, confirmed participation. But I'm very excited as, of course, a journalist that some of the international athletes are now coming to Nairobi. It's the Nairobi way now. The people like Thomas Gabi, who will also be competing here in Nairobi. It's really interesting, and we will be waiting to watch how the race will unfold. And of course, Yego, I think Yego is a big inspiration to these men in javelin, because after the throw you can see them hugging Yego and their coaches there at the sidelines. And of course, I think in the next 2 years we will be having more field events happening, and we have to keep on pushing, because that is the only way that our athletes will be able to do well. Coming up with more events, seeing athletes participating in these events regularly, consistency and longevity. Of course, people like Diego, who has been there for some time now, be able to also inspire other athletes, and of course, in the long run or in the end, others end up becoming coaches.
We want to big up all the guys from the Timetronic, the likes of Billy, Morgan. This event will not have been possible without your support, guys. All the guys working on the Timetronics, we thank you for the good job that you are doing. Hope to see you at the Kipkeino Classic doing the same thing. And on our screens is the mixed 4x400 meters. Uganda and the refugee team, ART. Uganda and the refugee team. Refugee team will be donned in all black.
Don't forget also for the technical officials who have been doing a lot of work behind the scenes, and also the crew behind this live coverage. We have a big team behind this.
Thank you to the producer, the director, all the cameramen, and all the technical officials who have been available throughout these 3 days of this championship. The starters, not forgetting the starters, led by Katam. Starter led by Katam. Track referees, track judges, and of course not forgetting you, the fans, everybody who's watching, wherever you are, in Uganda, Emmanuel Nwagaba, in the United States, Collins Omai, here in Nairobi, Vera Rorey and Gilbert Osure, all those watching in South Africa, including Ferdinand Omanyala. Thank you very much for tuning in, and all the rest. Thank you all. And before the start of the 4x400 meters mixed, let's have a few interviews from the day. Pick it up, Charity.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mlemi. I'm joined here by our Member of Parliament, Dan Wanyama, who is also a volleyballer and is well known in the sports fraternity. Karibu sana hapa Athletics Kenya.
Thank you, Charity. I'm happy to be here. As a sportsman, I enjoy having some time out of politics to come and see how the Kenyan talent is growing, given that I have come from a background of sports. And as you have put it rightly, I'm a volleyballer, and I captained the national team those years, and I was again the overall captain for All Africa Games in Joburg in 1999. Yes.
I understand also your son plays for basketball?
Yeah, my son is the captain of the Morans. He chose to play basketball instead of volleyball, which is a good thing. Bottom line, that he is a sports person, and I'm happy that he's doing well. Yes.
You've had the opportunity to watch the events here. What are some of the standout performances that you've seen so far?
I want to appreciate AK that these meetings they held almost every weekend actually brings out even the hidden talent that would have not have come out. I've watched the 800 meters ladies. I've watched javelin, which quite a number of athletes are qualifying for the African Championship. And now I think Yego, who has been dominating this field, is going to be pushed to the wall, and is going to be given money for his run for his money, because I can see there are young men who are.
Thank you very much, Charity, for that interview. With you was Honorable Wanyama, the chairman of the Sports Committee at the Parliament of Kenya. On the track is the mixed 4x400 meters. Lane 1, refugee. Lane 2, Uganda. Remember, Uganda is trying to qualify for the World Relay using this event. Uganda in lane number 2. Remember, an athlete runs one lap and they come to hand over to the second athlete who's female. It's male, female. ART, Uganda. 100 meters to go. Kenneth Omuka, they are running for Uganda, just coming quick and dance the baton over. She has to run inside that lane. The first takeover has to run inside the lane and cut in at the 300-meter point. Now she can come to lane number 1. There she goes in lane number 1. That is Uganda on your screens. Monica Akulu of Uganda. Remember, Uganda is trying to qualify in this event for the African Senior Championship and just trying to improve their world ranking in this one. Next is Adoli. Akulu increasing her pace as she prepares to hand over the baton to the winner of the 400 meters in this event, Aaron Adoli. There we go, Aaron Adoli, the tall, lanky fella from Uganda, winner of the 400 meters in a time of 45.09 seconds. Aaron Adoli. 200 meters to go. Aaron Adoli. Oh, what a... Adoli is flying as he prepares to hand over to the experienced Shida Leni. Uganda still in the lead. Uganda still in the lead. 2:17. 1 lap to go. Shida Leni hands over the baton. Adoli hands over the baton to Shida Leni. Shida Leni, the experienced athlete from Uganda, running off over 10 years, running at the World Championship, running at the Commonwealth Games, Africa Championship, and the African Games. There we go, Shida. Shida Leni. Quite composed, good striding, upright running. Shida Leni, 150 meters to go. Remember, Uganda wants to put a good time in this one. Shida Leni, all the way from Uganda. Shida Leni, still relaxed, pumping her arms. Crowd cheering. Shida Leni, 3:95. Shida Leni. Shida Leni from Uganda. And there they go. 3:17.99 seconds. Shida Leni anchors the team to a time of 3:17.99 seconds. Refugee is still second with 100 meters to go. Remember, that refugee team will be at the Africa Senior Championship. They will be running at the Africa Senior Championship just as they have been doing in the World Championships and in the Olympics. There they go. Good job. 3:51.3 seconds. That is the 4x400 meters mixed relay. We await the 3,000 meter steeplechase final. We await the 3,000 meter steeplechase final for the men, where we'll have Peter Kipngeno, Wesley Kiprono, Shadrach Kibiwot, Hussein Rashid, Amon Kipkorir, Nicholas Matelong, Cornelius Kipkosgei, Matthew Kosgei, Philip Korir, Alex Kipchichir, and Victor Kipngeno.
Well, we are now getting into the final event of the day and the final event of the championships. That is the 3,000 meters men's steeplechase, where we have 11 athletes: Peter Kipngeno Rono, Wesley Kiprono Langat, Shadrach Kibiwato, Hussein Rashid Kimtai, Amon Kipkorirbet, Nicholas Kipkemei Matelong, Cornelius Kipkosgei, Matthew Kosgei, Philip Korir, Alfred Kipchirchir, and Victor Kipngeno. These are the athletes who are going to close these championships in style. And as they close, who is going to get a slot to represent Kenya at the Africa event in Accra, Ghana. So we are witnessing their athletes lining up before they start. They say it's a lull before the storm. Yeah, of course, talking about technical officials, coaches who've been here, who've made it possible, many athletes competing here. There must be a force behind, there must be people who are behind the scenes that are working hard. Of course, I will be joined with one of the coaches. I'm still looking for him, and he will be able to help me. And of course, talking about the steeplechase event, he's one of the good steeplechase coaches in Kenya. And off they go. That is, remember, that is 7.5 laps. So that is the 3,000 meters steeplechase in men. And of course, Kenya, in the last edition, that was in 2024 in Douala, Cameroon, Kenya managed to win a bronze and a silver and bronze medals after Uganda's Leonard Chemtai managed to beat Kenyans in their own game. Of course, during that period when I was talking to Edmond Serem, who managed to win a silver, he was telling me that there was a miscalculation. He didn't know that Leonard would pull a surprise to them, and that is why they finished in second and third positions. Well, as you've seen, it's now a long line there. They've started spreading out, and now there are two athletes there who have. There was an accident there. The two athletes, of course, one of the affected athletes is Matthew Kosgei, who has now been left behind. One of the athletes hit the barrier and fell. And of course, I can see the officials, as you can see the replay there. I don't know if it will be able to capture. There we go. That is the water jump barrier. Well, 6 laps to go. I'll be telling you who is leading in a few. But Matthew Kosgei was affected there by the fall by one of the athletes. And he has remained behind. I don't know if he'll be able to catch up with the others. Yeah, of course, 5 laps to go. And we are keenly following on this event. And of course, we are keenly following on this event and see who will be able to win the race and get to represent Kenya at the Africa Senior Athletics Championships. That fall or that hit there at the barrier really affected Matthew, and he might not be able to catch up. Of course, with 5 laps to go, he might not be able to catch up with the leading pack. And of course, the first athlete, I think that was a pacemaker, and he has dropped out. So we want to see the real man here who is going to win this race, jumping over the water barrier there. And of course, leading is, of course, currently leading is Peter Kipngen Orono. Peter Kipngen Orono leading. And then followed by Wesley Kiprono Langat. I think these are athletes from the South Rift. And they are following one another in that order. Well, Peter Kipngen Orono controlling the pace there, and followed by, of course, Wesley Kiprono Langat. Are they going to maintain those positions, or is the race going to change? Of course, the water jump there. It's normally really interesting to see how they get into that water jump. And of course, talking about this event, I have seen Cornelius there. Talking about of course, things changing here, and of course, Ammon Korir now coming in second. Of course, Peter Kipngen Orono still dictating the pace. Will he be able to finish at the top? I was talking about the water jump barrier. We used to see Ezekiel Kemboi, of course, the multiple Olympics and world champion in this distance. He used to jump, and he couldn't even get into that. He would jump over the water itself. He couldn't get into the pool. So we have different types of athletes who will tackle this. If there are those who will jump the water and get inside, others will get inside and stand. I saw the other day a clip of athletes jumping, but they fall inside that water jump. So it's an interesting race. And of course, I can see Chemos walking around here. She once tackled this event. Now the race is changing here. And currently, of course, leading is still Peter Kipngen Orono, and of course followed by Ammon Kipkorir Beit. Two laps to go. Two athletes are, of course, stacked together there. Two athletes leading with a gap of about 10 meters from the third athlete. It's getting hot. The weather has been so nice here, and even as we end these championships today, are we going to witness another record? Remember, we have witnessed the records here. A shot put record, and of course a high jump record. And these are women breaking records. I don't know why our men, but I know maybe they are reserving the energy for the championships, that is in Ghana and of course Botswana. Of course, Ammon Bet starting to slow down there. He is slowing down, but still leading is Peter Kipngen Orono. He has opened a wide gap, of course. Now Ammon dropping to a third place. This is the last lap. About 270 meters to go. As you can see how he jumps that barrier, going for the last water jump there, taking that curve in style with long strides. But the second athlete is really coming up very fast. And if he doesn't take care, he will be overtaken. But of course, that's the last curve there and last stretch, the 100 meters race. Peter Kipngeno Rono taking the race in style. And there he goes. Of course, followed by Shadrach Kibiwot Tor, finishing in second place. Peter Kiprono wins in 8:33.24, with Shadrach Kibiwot coming in second place. A good run there. Remember, Kenya did not win a gold medal here, but they managed to win a silver medal and bronze medals through Edmond Serem and Matthew Kosgei. Of course, Matthew Kosgei coming there last, of course. They hit a barrier there, and I think he has been struggling, and as you can see, he's now limping. They have been struggling. He has been struggling to get to the top, but again, it's like the barrier hit him on his leg because he's currently limping. Oh, I'm told there's still more races 4x400 relay events that are coming up. So this was one of the last long distance and middle and long distance races. We will be trying to listen to interviews and get to know what this top athlete, the top three athletes, or the winner, Peter Kipngeno Rono, is saying as we are almost at the tail end of this event. A recap there of the race. Some of the officials now walking towards the start line before we call it a day. It has been a good day since we started early in the morning. We have seen athletes competing here, giving their best. Of course, long jump men is still ongoing. Maybe I can go through the names of those who are doing the long jump. The men's long jump. We have, that is a final event. Amos Musili Mwendwa, Bismarck Soy, Charles Okello, Cherono Ruto Kiplagat, Dennis Kiprotich Ngetich, Edwin Kimtaito, Gideon Kipngeno Kirui, Gilbert Kemoy, Isaac Kirwa, Isaac Ndute Kimunu, and Kiplagat Kipkoech. Those are 11 athletes battling it out there in the long jump event, the men's final long jump event.
This is the 4 by 400 meters. 4 by 400 meters, where Kenya will have two teams, Kenya A, Kenya B. Kenya A will be made up of George Mutinda, Kevin Kipkorir, Dennis Masika, and Kevin Kiprotich. In lane number 2, on the blocks will be George Mutinda, all the way from Eastern. And in lane number 3, Kevin Kimathi, Eric Kimathi. Lane 2 is Kenya A. Kenya A. Remember that most of the top runners in the country are running in this 4 by 400 meters. George Mutinda, Eric Kimathi, Danson Kibet, Mbaluka, Kevin Kiprotich, Kipkorir, the hurdler, Dennis Masika, and Kevin Kipkorir. There's Kevin Kipkorir and Kevin Kiprotich. Kevin Kipkorir is, and all of those Kevins are in the Kenya prisons. Kevin Kipkorir is the new recruit. Kevin Kiprotich, quite experienced, tall, lanky fella. Let's wait for the start of the 4 by 400 meters. Men. Will they go under sub 3 minutes here in Nairobi? Let's wait and see. Remember, they took part in the Botswana meet. As we look over on our screens, that is the javelin final, replays from the javelin final. Kenya A and Kenya B in the 4x400 meters relay. Kenya A in lane number 2 being led by George Mutinda, and lane number 3 Kenya B being led by Eric Kimathi. Will they run a sub 3 minutes here on home soil? Let's wait and see. Good start there from the athletes, with George Mutinda always a slow starter, and Eric Kimathi being the opposite, being a very quick starter. Which tactic will prevail here? Will it be George Mutinda or will it be Eric Kimathi with his team? Kenya A in lane number 2, Kenya B in lane number 3. Mutinda just closes in on Eric Kimathi there by the 200-meter mark. That's where Mutinda now runs for the last 150 meter. Starts pumping hard as he closes in on Kimathi. Remember, the two boys have already made the team for the Africa Senior Championship and the World Athletics. George Mutinda comes to the lead as he hands over the baton to Kevin Kip-Korir, and Kimathi hands over to Danson Kibet. Danson Kibet versus Kevin Kip-Korir. Kevin Kip-Korir in the lead as they break inside to the first lane. Danson Kibet, Kevin Kip-Korir. Also, the two athletes have made it to the team for the world relays. Now it's just a matter of, can I get better than you? Let me prove my point. Danson Kibet just closing in on Kevin Kip-Korir. 3 meters behind. Danson Kibet, will he catch up with his counterpart? Trying to catch up, but Kevin Kip-Korir holds it and will hand over the baton to Masika and Mbaluka. Masika, Mbaluka. Masika in the lead. Remember, Masuka is the KDF champion, while Mbaluka from the Kenya Police running for Utawala Springs Club. Just trying to close down Dennis Masika. The two have also made the team for the world relays. Mbaluka from behind. Masika, short strides, Tinega-like strides. With 100 meters to go, Mbaluka tries to use his strides now. Masika, Mbaluka with the striding. Mbaluka with the striding. Masika holding on, giving it to Kevin Kiprotich and Korir. The hurdler versus the 400-meter flat athlete. The 400-meter flat athlete in the lead. Hurdler from the national record, the national champion in the hurdles, in the 400 meters hurdles, just behind him. Let's see, will hurdles prevail over the flat? Kiprotich in the lead for Kenya A. Korir behind Kenya B. Will we see an upset? Let's wait and see. Closing in. Closing in. Kip-Korir versus Korir. Kiprotich. Kiprotich holding on from the Kenya prisons. 255, 256. Will we see a sub 3 minutes? No, we will. We won't. And they finished strongly there in a time of 3.85 seconds. 4x400 meters. Oh, what a race. That was good. As we wait now for the 4x100 meters mixed relay. A new event that has just been introduced in the world athletics events. 4x100 meters mixed. Remember, Kenya's record was set a few weeks ago in Botswana with a team led by Ferdinand Omanyala, Mercy Okech, Millicent Doro, and Boniface Mweresa. 4x100 meters mixed relay. As we watch the replay of how Kiprotich turned the last 150 meters just to pull away from Korir, the hurdler. KDF versus Kenya Police, the anchors. But the prisons officer reigns supreme as the athletes move towards their starting points in the relays. 3 teams in this one. Four teams in this relay, sorry. I see Dennis Moy, Moses Wasi, Simane Regao, and Ronald in the starting. Ronald Koech. All the big guns in this one. Moses Wasike, winner of the 200 meters, Dennis Moy, winner of the 100 meters, Ronald Koech, and the young Simane Rigao walking to the starting point of this particular event. Moy, winner of the 200 meters, will be on the inner lane, lane number 2. Moses Wasike, winner of the Betika series, will be on lane number 3. Winner of 100 meters, Ronald Koech, will be in lane number 4, and Simane Regao will be in lane number 5. Quite a studded field, this one. Mwai, Wasike, Koech, Simane. Remember, this is a mixed relay. The arrangement is man, woman, man, woman. In athletics, we call them man and woman. That is what they are called. 400 meters, M, man. 400 meters, W, woman. Ronald Koech, heavily strapped on his left hamstring, will be in lane number 4. That's the winner of the 100 meters. Won the 100 meters in a time of 10.35 seconds, beating Mark Otieno, who ran at 10.36 seconds, being differentiated by 100th of a second in the 100-meter flat. Dennis Mwai, the winner, the surprise winner of the 200 meters, will be in the lane number 2. All the best starters that we have in the country are running in this one. Simane Regao, Ronald Koech, Moses Wasike, and Dennis Mwai. On the first changeover, we'll be having Laventa Mutavi in lane number 2, running for Dennis Mwai's team. Sophia from Mutawala will be running for Simane's team. Mercy Chebet will be running for Ronald Koech's team. This will be fireworks. Remember, the Kenyan record was set in Botswana a few weeks ago by the likes of Ferdinando Manyala, Mercy Akech, Boniface Moresa, and Millicent Doro. All Kenyan affair, Kenya A, Kenya B, Kenya C, Kenya D, A, B, C, D, or Kenya 1, Kenya 2, Kenya 3, Kenya 4. All the best starters, among the best starters are lined up here with Dennis Moy, lane number 2, Moses Wasike, lane number 3, Ronald Koech, lane number 4, and Simane Regao, lane number 5. The men start, then they hand over to the women, then they hand over again to the men, and then they hand over lastly to the women to anchor the team home. Remember, this is a new event that has been introduced by the World Athletics. Dennis Mwai on the inside lane, the winner of the 200 meters. Moses Wasike, winner of the Betika series in lane number 3. Ronald Koech, winner of this particular event, lane number 4. And Simani Regao in lane number 5. All the winners are here. All the winners are here. Who will hand over the baton first? Let us see. As they go on their knees, which team will reign supreme? Clean start there from the athletes. Simani trying to pull away from the rest of the field in lane number 5, and he manages to do so. Ronald Koech just closing in. There we have the changeover. Chebet leading now is Mercy Chebet. Lavenda Mutavi trying to close in on Sophia, and she does that. Yes, she does. Marco Tieno now on the curve. Marco Tieno leading the rest of the field with Chege just behind him. Is Chege handing over the baton, and it's clean, guys. Marcia Cage from the 400 meters just passes Esther Mbagari there. Mbagari second, Kadogo third, and Dorin Waka fourth. 42.90 seconds. These events need smooth handover for you to be successful. Without the handover, then all that running will go into waste. But there we have it. Kenya A wins this one, being led by the 400-meter athlete, Marcia Ketch. So versatile. She can run the 200-meter, 200-meter, and 400-meter. And remember, she was part of the team that clocked the Kenyan record in the company of Ferdinand Omanyala, Millicent Doro, and Boniface Mweresa. As we watch the replay, Marcia Ketch in lane number 4, just overtaking former national record holder Esther Mbagari there. And Eunice Kadogo, the silver medalist in the African event, finishes third. And fourth was Doreen Waka. And that marks the end of the running here at Ulinzi Sports Complex. Remember, this was the combined trials for the World Relays and the Africa Senior Championship. A team will be named right here at Ulinzi in a few moments' time. Two teams will be named, the one that is traveling to Botswana and the one traveling to Accra, Ghana for the Africa Senior Championship. will be joined by Charity for the interviews. Charity, you can take over in the interview room.
So once again, we're holding on for...
Thank you so much. I'm joined there by the top 2 finishers for the Africa for the Africa Championship athletes who have qualified. We have Peter Kipngeno Rono and Shadrack Kibiwot. Peter, una feel aje kuhusu event ya leo na kwa mara yako ya kwanza kuingia Team Kenya, una feel aje?
Mimi na feel poa na shukuru Mungu. Leo race haikuwa mbaya, but mazoezi ndio inafaa. So nashukuru Mungu, be a coach and all my teammates. Tulishirikiana pamoja, ndio sasa nimeingia team Kenya, so nashukuru.
All the best and congratulations.
Aya, asante.
Thank you so much. We also have Shadrack. Shadrack, una feel aje mara yako ya kwanza Team Kenya?
Na feel mzuri sana. Nashukuru Mungu kwa kuniwezesha nikate Team Kenya. So kwa sasa najipanga kwenda kunini my country and then more training to train. Yeah.
All the best and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Okay, those were our top 2 finishers for the 3,000 meter steeplechase for the men. They have qualified for the Africa Senior Athletics Championship that will be held in May from 12th to 17th at Accra, Ghana. Over to you as we continue with the program.
Well, yeah, that was the end of the 3-day action-packed event where, of course, athletes were battling it out for the top slots to represent Kenya at the World Athletics Relay Championships that shall be held on May 2nd and 3rd in Gaborone, Botswana, and Africa Senior Athletics Championships from May 12th to 17th in Accra, Ghana. Remember, the team will be named right here after this, and we are going to know who is going to make the team and who will be heading where. It has been nice, of course, listening and talking to you, and you as a listener and who has been watching us here in Ulinzi. It has been a good day. I must say we have seen records here fall, personal best being registered here, and I think athletes are inspired to do even better. Maybe I'll see you in Accra or Botswana, one of the events, but it has been a good pleasure being with you, and I want to wrap up this event here today. Thanks for the fans who've been following us online, those who've been able to rectify the mistakes that we did, and all the things that we have done for the last 3 days. So we are going to listen to the names in a few, but for now I want to say bye-bye and see you next time, and all the best to everyone. Bye-bye.